So, you guys, I said that I would get back on later and do a video about my crazy weekend. Um, and just to touch on, again, this a similar topic that I've talked about before. Um, so I posted on Facebook a few days ago a picture of a young lady that is friends with my daughter, goes to my daughter's school, where she had not been seen for about a week or so. And, um, basically we're trying to figure out where she was. She, and I won't say her, I won't go deep into it, but, um, on Saturday morning, we got a phone call that someone was saying that her and another young lady were being held for, um, what they believe to be sex trafficking. Okay, and that it was a dangerous situation. The person that called us had been notified by supposedly the young man that picked them up in the first place, um, which I have a whole nother feeling about that thing. But anyway, so to get to the part that was, other than the fact of this whole situation just being really, um, just tiring, the process. Um, so immediately, I asked the woman that called me because she was connected to the other young lady that everyone was looking for. Had she called the police? She said she called the police, but they basically kind of shrugged it off. She also called where the girls had been living, and they didn't really respond either. And so then I called um, the hotline, the abuse hotline. And the woman that I spoke with um was very nonchalant. There was no urgency in her tone at all. It didn't sound like a very hotline to me when I called. Um and I became frustrated with her and basically was like, look, if you're not going to help, just say you're not going to help and I'll hang up and I'll just keep calling people so we can figure out how to get these young ladies. Now, um, just to give a little background about why this is such a, tense, it's already a tense topic, but we have dealt with one of our kids' friends going missing before. And it was horrible. And later they found her dead. You know, it's a major, major thing, that seems to be treated as if it's nothing. And I can't even say that it's a black white issue because the young lady that was missing, that was my son's friend, she was Caucasian, and they, from what I saw and kept up with the case and just, initially they were like, oh, she just ran away. They really weren't concerned, no matter how much the parents, um, told them that this child wouldn't be just, drop off the face of the earth without any type of connection with family or friends. And so, at any rate, so I'm on the phone talking to this woman, and she ends with, "Well, I really can't do anything unless there's proof of abuse." Okay. Um, that was crazy to me. So I got off the phone with her. Then I said, okay, I got the idea of maybe because I had a, excuse me, y'all. Oh gosh. Okay. Well, whatever's going on, I think it's on my glasses. Anyway, I had the idea. Okay, let's do, because at this point, me and my husband are up, and me and the other woman are on the phone. My daughter, is up, and we're all thinking, and I'm calling my family, and we're just trying to figure out what to do. And of course, I don't want anyone going over there because the one was talking about going over there, but the guy presented it as if it may be a dangerous situation to go over there. Okay. And so at any rate, I said, okay, let's try to do a wellness check, have them go knock. So we call, I called 911, And initially, I guess I was at the wrong city one, and they transferred me to the right city. And when this guy answered the phone and I told him what was going on and the danger that possibly could be going on, he took the deepest breath ever as if I was bothering him. It was like, well, what's the address that they're at? Now, just to give a little bit of more background, um, these young ladies were actively being looked for. Okay. There were flyers out for these girls and everything. It was in the system, that these girls were being looked for. And I said, I'm sorry, do you want the address? And so finally he took the address down and, like again, you know, no urgency. Okay. And they went and knocked. No one answered. They walked away. Okay. Not long after that knock, the girls kind of started to reach out a little bit. Like um, maybe somebody was scared. And they were not in that location anymore. Well, of course, we got nervous then because we're like, okay, are they just going to keep moving them? Are we going to be able to find these girls? And it just so happens that my dad works for DHS. And so I called my dad and I was like, what else should I do? Because he had already told me some things to do. And none of those were working. Um, he went up to his job, made some calls, got some information of who to contact. And long story short, we were able to get those girls and get them safe. Now, I don't understand why we don't care. You know, I don't, when I was a teenage girl, yes, I did stupid stuff. I did lots of stuff. It was a different time. Um, Things were a lot different, you know? Um, and if I went on a date or I met a nice guy, it just wasn't likely that he was going to be sex trafficking me. You know what I'm saying? But now it's such a major thing. Teenagers come up dead. Young ladies are kidnapped, tortured. Young men too, I'm sure. And for our emergency response people to have no urgency annoyed me so much. And then on the flip side, you know, we have to explain to our young ladies and our young men, and it's so sad, simple teenage stupidity can turn into something majorly wrong in your life. The lecture used to be, pregnancy and disease. It's so much more than that now. You can be, people look to target, you know, teenage girls, teenage boys because they think they know so much, and what they think they know, just like we thought we knew, can be to their demise. And then on top of that, to have a system that does not care, that just adds to it. That just adds to the despair, you know. Um, and it just, it ran my pressure just sky high. Me and my husband have been watching this documentary, and I think his last name was Hernandez, little 8-year-old boy that was murdered by his mother and her boyfriend after torturing him for months. It had been reported. Teacher called, you know, security guards reporting it, people reporting it, and caseworkers actually going to the home and taking the word of the mom who was beating the death out of this baby. Our system is failing our children. Okay? That was an 8-year-old boy. And these girls, yes, they're 17. They may have ran away. They may have been doing something they weren't supposed to do. But you know what? It's not punishable by death. And when I would do stuff that I wasn't supposed to do, people didn't just ignore that. You know what I'm saying? My mom didn't just ignore that. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't run away. I did things within the confines of my rules. You know, but to me, the way that we respond to that, you know what? Even if you see, oh, they just run away, this and that, but you know, that little percent of a chance that they didn't, or something is seriously wrong, they're in danger. Doesn't it deserve the energy of urgency, even if it comes to where, oh, they're fine, they're just hiding? But that wasn't the case necessarily here. You know, and I haven't gotten all of the background story, but I know that there were grown men involved, you know, if for no other reason but the initial pickup. You see what I'm saying? Let's protect our kids, you know, because sometimes they don't, you know, they don't have enough sense to protect themselves. But if you are working in a position that is supposed to be for urgent matters, or you're supposed to be caring about someone else's well being, then let's do that. Let's don't make excuses. You know, when I call for stuff like that, I don't want to hear about what you can't do. I don't. I want to hear about what you're going to do. You know, because now they got mad. It's like, I don't care what you can't do. What you going to do? Are you going to, I mean, we're trying to make sure that these girls come out alive. I don't want to see their faces, you know, on an obituary because of, you know, mistakes they made, you know, or, you know, because you decided it wasn't urgent. You know, if somebody give you a tip about a drug dealer, you go kick in their door. But you tell somebody, okay, that these girls are at risk possibly for trafficking or something. And you just are like, what's the address? I'm sorry, am I bothering you, Mr. 911 caller? Call taker or whatever you are, operator? Am I bothering you? You know? What else you got to do but take emergency phone calls, sir? You know? So, you know, that's just my thing, you know. That's how my Saturday went. And it was very stressful. Both girls were safe, just to let you all know. Um, and they've been taken back wherever they were supposed to be. Um, it's just you know, our system needs to be set up better. You know, it's like we're either one extreme or another. You know, either we're taking them when we shouldn't, or we're leaving them when we shouldn't. We're you know, we just don't care enough about our children. And like I said, yes, I know they make mistakes. So did we. I know they do dumb stuff. So did we. We, including me. If you are of age, an adult, you did stupid stuff. Okay, you're probably still doing stupid stuff. So you know, that's all I got for now, you guys. All right, bye.